We're going to be looking tonight at diabetes and high blood pressure. Looking at high blood pressure, we'll be looking at, of course, the heart. The number one killer in Australia today, is heart disease. It's actually neck to neck with cancer. We touched on cancer last night, so we'll be looking at the other number one, which is heart disease / high blood pressure. So what I'd like to look at is how food affects diabetes and high blood pressure. Let me ask you a question. How are you feeling right now? Pretty good? Maybe a little achy, but overall okay? Now, what if I told you that right now, as you're sitting there feeling just fine, you could be moments away from a medical crisis? That the single most important number for your health might be lying to you? We've all been taught to trust our numbers. The doctor takes our blood pressure, gives us a reading, and we think, well, that's that. But my friends, that trust could be the most dangerous thing of all. Just a few weeks ago, my dear friend Arthur was over, helping me in the garden. He was laughing, full of energy. He'd had a slightly high reading at his checkup, but he brushed it off. He felt great. He didn't trust that one number. Later that night, his wife called me, her voice shaking. Arthur was in the ER with a headache so severe he could barely see. The doctors told him his systolic pressure was an astonishing 210. He was a walking time bomb. But here's what still gives me chills. Right there in that hospital room, after they'd given him the first dose of medication, I had him do one simple, calm thing, just one breathing technique. And we watched in awe as that terrifying number on the monitor dropped by 40 points. 40. This isn't just about Arthur. This is a silent epidemic, and it's targeting us, our generation specifically. Today, we're not just going to talk about numbers on a screen. We're going to talk about how to truly listen to your body, how to stop a crisis before it ever has a chance to start, and how to take back control. Before we start, drop in the comments from where you are watching this video and what health topic you'd like to see in the next video. As a special thank you for joining us today, we're giving away 100 free copies of my best-selling book to subscribers. So, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment about why you want to win my best-selling book. What the numbers really mean. Now, before we go any further, let's just take a moment to really understand what those two numbers mean. It's not as complicated as it seems, I promise. But when someone's not eating enough fruits and vegetables, and that's where you get most of your potassium, and they're putting table salt on everything far too much, what happens now is sodium levels rise and potassium levels drop. So now sodium levels inside the cell are rising, which they should not, and the cell swells. What's that called? High blood pressure. And because magnesium is a water-hungry molecule, it can be used to help the water get into the cell. So when someone's on a fat-free diet, have you noticed they eat all day long? They're hungry all day long. So they're eating too many carbohydrates, because isn't that your quick food? There's your quick food, all the carbohydrates. So they're wearing out their pancreas. Now the pancreas isn't releasing insulin, and the glucose can't get into the cell. See, that's why I call this the CBD, the Central Business District of the human body. Hawthorn berry strengthens the heart. In fact, if the blood pressure's low, it'll bring it up. If it's high, it'll bring it down. Whatever your heart needs to do, it will work with that. You see two digits, a top one and a bottom one. Let's start with the top number. That's called your systolic pressure. Now think of your heart. When it beats, it squeezes and pushes blood out into your arteries. That systolic number is the force of that surge of blood against your artery walls. It's the power of the push. For us, for folks over 50, this is without a doubt the most critical number to watch. Here's a little trick to remember it. Just think S for systolic and S for seniors. This is the number that quietly creeps up as we get older, and it's the biggest warning sign for trouble. Now, the bottom number is your diastolic pressure. This is the pressure in your arteries when your heart is relaxed, resting peacefully between beats. It's the baseline, the constant background pressure. While it's important, it's often a bigger focus for younger people. So you can remember it like this. D for diastolic and D for, well, the younger descendants. For us seniors, a high systolic pressure is the real danger. Imagine constantly running your car engine with the gas pedal slammed to the floor. That relentless pounding surge is silently damaging the delicate lining of your arteries, your brain, your kidneys, and the truly frightening part, you usually feel absolutely nothing at all. No warning, no pain, until it's too late. That's why we can't trust just feeling fine. We have to know the numbers. The silent killer, danger for seniors. The cause of high blood pressure can be a vitamin D deficiency. How so? Well, calcium is a very important mineral. And calcium cannot get into the cell by itself. Calcium needs vitamin D. And when vitamin D is present, calcium is pulled into the cell. And when calcium's pulled into the cell, all the other minerals piggyback on the back of calcium. And this is why calcium is called the king. So why is this high blood pressure or hypertension so exceptionally dangerous for us seniors? The answer is twofold. It's utterly silent, and the damage it does compounds over years and decades, like rust on a pipe you never see. My friend Arthur's story isn't rare, it's terrifyingly common. Many of us might know someone who seemed perfectly fine one day and then suffered a sudden stroke or heart attack. There's often a hidden culprit. Did you know that up to 60% of all stroke cases that rush into the emergency room arrive with dangerously, critically high blood pressure? For so many, the stroke itself is the first and only symptom. The high blood pressure was there all along, a silent traitor, and the catastrophic event is what finally reveals it. It's not a cause, it's the consequence of years of silent damage. Let me give you a statistic that should make us all sit up and pay very close attention. Research shows that for every single 10 points your systolic pressure, that's the top number, climbs above 130, your overall risk for a life-altering catastrophe increases dramatically. We're talking about your risk of a devastating stroke, a fatal heart attack, or irreversible organ failure. Please really think about that. This isn't just a linear increase. Going from a systolic pressure of 140 to 170 isn't just being a little high. It's not like turning up the thermostat a few degrees. You are effectively multiplying your risk with every point on that dial. And this brings me to the single most frightening part of this entire condition. You can be walking around, tending to your garden, having lunch with friends, feeling completely normal and healthy, all while your systolic pressure is at 180 or even higher. You feel fine because there is no pain, there is no warning system. But on the inside, that incredible force is relentlessly, mercilessly pounding away at your most vital organs. Imagine it as a powerful hammer striking against the delicate walls of your arteries thousands of times a day. This constant assault erodes and scars them, making them stiff and brittle, prone to clogging or even rupturing. It's forcing your heart, that faithful muscle, to work itself to the point of exhaustion and enlargement. It's like making it run a marathon every single day without rest. And it's slowly, silently destroying the tiny, intricate filters in your kidneys, eventually leading to dialysis. This is the insidious nature of high blood pressure. This isn't a disease of obvious symptoms like a cough or a fever. It is a disease of numbers on a machine. A silent, invisible disease of statistics and pressure, until one day, without any notice, it suddenly and violently becomes a disease of crisis, of ambulances, and of life-changing diagnoses. That's why we must be smarter, we must be proactive. Trusting how you feel is a gamble you simply cannot afford to take. The top mistakes seniors make measuring blood pressure.
High blood pressure can be caused by dehydration. In dehydration, little capillary networks shut down to try and conserve full blood volume. That builds up pressure. High blood pressure can be caused by no salt. High blood pressure can be caused by table salt. High blood pressure can be caused by no greens. No greens, no magnesium, water can't get in. High blood pressure can be caused by no sun.
You've decided to take control and start checking your pressure at home. That is, without a doubt, the single most important step you can take. But here's the critical part. You can't trust the number on that screen if you're making some of these very common mistakes. I've seen them all, and they can turn a useful tool into a source of major anxiety or, even worse, false reassurance. Let's walk through them together. First up, and this is a big one, is the wrong cuff mistake. This has two parts. The first is using a wrist monitor. I know they are small and look convenient, but for most of us they are a trap. Wrist monitors are extremely sensitive to your body position. If your wrist isn't held at exactly the perfect level right next to your heart, the reading can be off by 10, 15, even 20 points. It's just too finicky. An automatic upper arm monitor is almost always the better, more accurate choice. The second part is cuff size. A cuff that's too small or too tight will give you a reading that is shockingly high, while one that's too large might read too low. It must fit just right. You want the cuff bladder, the part that inflates, to circle about 80% of your bare upper arm. Next, let's talk about the full bladder mistake. This one seems silly, but it's a major factor. Needing to go to the bathroom isn't just uncomfortable, it can actually add 10 to 15 points to your systolic reading. Your body is under a small amount of stress and it reflects in your numbers. Always make a quick trip to the restroom before you sit down to take your reading. It's one of the easiest fixes you can make. Then we have the recently caffeinated or smoked mistake, that morning cup of coffee or tea, or if you smoke, that cigarette, you must wait. Both caffeine and nicotine are what we call vasoconstrictors. They cause your blood vessels to tighten up, which immediately raises your blood pressure. You need to give your body time to process them. Wait at least 30 minutes, a full hour is even better after having either before you even think about putting that cuff on. Now, posture is everything. This is the sitting wrong mistake. This isn't just about being comfortable, it's about physiology. You must sit in a chair with your back fully supported. Don't slump forward. Your feet must be flat on the floor. Don't cross your legs. And this is crucial. Your arm must be supported on a table or desk so that the cuff is right at the level of your heart. If you let your arm dangle off the side of the table, you're adding extra pressure from gravity and you will get a falsely high reading. Sit back, relax your arm and rest it comfortably. Even the talking mistake can ruin a good reading. I know it's tempting to chat with your spouse while the machine is pumping away, but even casual conversation can skew the numbers. You need to be completely quiet, still, and relaxed. No talking, no watching a stressful news report, just quiet breathing until the cycle is completely finished. Finally, this is perhaps the most important rule of all, the single reading mistake. My friends, you must never ever trust a single reading. Your blood pressure is not a static number like your height. It's dynamic and changes with every heartbeat. The first reading is almost always artificially high because you've just moved and gotten settled. Here's what you must do. Take one reading, wait 1 full minute, then take a second reading. If they are very close, average them out. If the second is much lower, wait another minute and take a third. It's the average of those last 2 readings that gives you your true resting blood pressure. This is the only way to get a picture you can actually trust. And here's a professional tip for you. On your next visit to your doctor's office, take your home monitor with you. After they take your pressure with their calibrated device, immediately take yours and compare the numbers. This will tell you if your monitor is running high or low and will give you total confidence in the numbers you're seeing at home. It turns a guess into a fact. The main causes of blood pressure spikes in seniors. Okay, so you're measuring correctly now, you're sitting properly and you're taking multiple readings. but you still see a number that makes you worry. What on earth is causing that spike? It's a question I get all the time, and the answer is almost never just one simple thing. It's usually a combination of factors. Let's walk through the biggest culprits so you can start playing detective with your own health. First, and this is absolutely crucial, we have to talk about the deadly morning surge. This isn't a mistake, it's a natural bodily process. In the early morning, as our bodies prepare to wake up, they release a burst of hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These are stress hormones, and their job is to get us going. They cause a perfectly natural spike in our heart rate and our blood pressure. This is the primary reason why the hours between 6 a.m. and noon see the very highest incidence of heart attacks and strokes. Now, if you add to this natural surge by jumping out of bed like you're answering a fire alarm, rushing to get ready, and immediately launching into a stressful day, you are pouring gasoline on a small fire. That's why how you start your morning is so critical. Next is the sodium sneak attack. I want you to stop thinking about the salt shaker for a moment. The real danger is hidden. It's in the processed foods, the canned soups and vegetables, the bread, the condiments like ketchup and salad dressing, and especially in restaurant meals. As we age, our kidneys become less efficient at filtering out excess sodium. Your body holds on to water to dilute that salt, and that extra fluid volume in your bloodstream means higher pressure. It's a direct and predictable effect. Then there's the mental game. Stress and anxiety are not just in your head, they have a direct physical impact on your blood pressure. Chronic worry, or even a sudden piece of bad news, triggers your body's ancient fight or flight response. This is a powerful vasoconstrictor. It makes your blood vessels clamp down, which forces your pressure up. It's your body preparing for danger, but it does terrible things to your cardiovascular system if it's constantly switched on. Pain is another huge and often overlooked trigger. Untreated pain, especially the chronic ache of arthritis, bursitis, or back problems, keeps your entire nervous system on high alert. This constant state of distress signals your body to release stress hormones, which in turn keeps your blood pressure elevated. Managing your pain isn't just about comfort, it's about protecting your heart. Dehydration plays a tricky role. It seems counterintuitive, but when you don't drink enough water, your body panics and tries to hold on to whatever fluid it has. Ironically, it does this by holding on to sodium, and as we just discussed, more sodium means more fluid retention and higher blood pressure. It's a vicious cycle. We must also look at certain medications. Common over-the-counter pain relievers known as NSAIDs like ibuprofen, Advil, and naproxen Aleve are notorious for this. They can cause fluid retention and interfere with blood flow, leading to noticeable spikes. This is why it is so important to discuss every single medication and supplement you take with your doctor. Finally, a massive and underdiagnosed culprit, sleep apnea. This condition causes repeated pauses in your breathing throughout the night. Each time you stop breathing, the oxygen level in your blood drops. Your brain panics and sends emergency signals to tighten your blood vessels and jolt you awake to breathe. This happens dozens, even hundreds of times a night, causing dramatic, repeated spikes in your blood pressure that you are completely unaware of. It's one of the most destructive forces on this list. If you snore loudly or wake up gasping, please talk to your doctor. Your life-saving plan. Knowing all this is one thing, but now it's time to put that knowledge into action. This is your plan. This is how you stop fearing the numbers and start trusting a healthier, stronger you. These aren't drastic, impossible changes. They are simple, consistent habits that add up to nothing short of life-saving results. First, I want you to become a detective. Get a small notebook and keep a daily log. This is your most powerful tool. Don't just write down your blood pressure readings. Write down what you ate that day, your stress level on a scale of 1 to 10, how you slept, and what activity you did. After just a week or two, you will start to see your own personal triggers. You might notice your numbers are higher on days you had canned soup or after a stressful phone call. This isn't guesswork anymore, it's evidence. Next, make a gentle nutritional shift. I'm not saying you need to eat lettuce all day. Just start moving toward more whole foods. Add more fruits, vegetables and whole grains. These are naturally lower in sodium and high in potassium, which helps balance out salt in your body. Think bananas, spinach, sweet potatoes, but please check with your doctor about potassium if you're on certain medications. It might not seem as exciting as a burger at first, but you're not just trading food, you're trading for more years of health and independence. Now, let's talk about a secret weapon, flax seeds. I call this brown gold. Don't let their size fool you. Studies show that just 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed every day can lower your systolic pressure by up to 8 points. That's huge. It also fights cholesterol, blood sugar and inflammation. It's the easiest fix ever. Just stir it into your oatmeal, yogurt or a morning smoothie. You won't even taste it. To combat that deadly morning surge, change how you wake up. When your eyes open, don't jump out of bed. Just sit on the edge of the bed for a full minute. Breathe deeply and slowly. Let your body adjust. Then stand up carefully. This simple 60-second habit gives your cardiovascular system time to catch up and can blunt that dangerous morning spike significantly. Also, consider swapping your regular tea or coffee for hibiscus tea. This isn't just folklore. Multiple scientific studies have shown that drinking 2 to 3 cups daily can lower systolic pressure as effectively as a standard low-dose blood pressure medication. It's tasty, natural, and powerfully effective. And finally, move consistently. You do not need to run a marathon. A daily 30-minute brisk walk, gardening, water aerobics, or even just dancing to old tunes in your living room, any movement that gets your heart pumping moderately is a miracle drug for your blood vessels. It makes them more flexible and resilient. Remember this, even a small consistent drop of just 5 points in your systolic pressure leads to a 14% reduction in strokes, a 9% reduction in heart attacks, and a 7% reduction in overall mortality. These small manageable steps aren't just options, they are your foundation for a longer, healthier life. You can do this. So in conclusion, don't trust your blood pressure in the sense of being complacent with a single reading or ignoring the silent damage it can do. Instead, verify it, understand it, manage it. Your lifestyle isn't just an option, it's the foundation. It's the daily choices that add up to either a ticking time bomb or a long, vibrant, healthy life. You have the power to change these numbers. You don't need to be an elite athlete. You just need to be consistent and aware. If you found this video helpful, if it maybe opened your eyes to a danger you didn't fully understand, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend or family member. You could literally save a life. Subscribe for more tips on taking control of your health. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay informed, stay healthy.